On the whole, the aspiring artist starts out their career with the dream of freely expressing her or himself. Though for many that dream becomes a horror story, as the promise of a carefree self-expression is met with the reality of art world elitism, financial corruption, poor working conditions, and sexual harassment. Recently I spoke to performance artist and singer Actually Huizenga about the art world, its horrors and how to overcome them, as one of a series of interviews ahead of the release of my book, Can the Left Learn to Meme?, out with Zero Books in 2019. The interview took place on the eve of Netflix's premiere of the film Velvet Buzzsaw. Just to warn you, there will be spoilers, which follows the careers of an assortment of art world players who have lost their way, among them the critic Morph Vandervolt.
The admiration I had for your work has completely evaporated.
Ruthless art gallery owner Rodora Hayes, museum curator Gretchen, agent Josephina, and wide-eyed gallery assistant Coco. The story follows the macabre happenings that surround a collection of artwork stolen by Josephina from the house of a deceased artist, Vetral Dees, which are displayed for sale despite his dying wish they be destroyed. A private detective hired to delve into Dees's past reveals childhood abuse, subsequent mental illness, and further abuse by the mental health authorities. This anguish left a mark on Dees's work, making it all the more alluring to collectors, and prompting gallerist Rodora to do all she could to push the artist's name.
Just know demand has people ready to kill.
Yet Dees's work appears to want revenge on a world too unkind to support the potential of artistic beauty, and so begins a killing spree. Following the death of an art world technician who is attacked by apes from a painting, Coco, a former gallery assistant to Josephina, seeks work from opposing gallerist owner John Dundon, who is oddly domineering towards her in interview. A day later, Coco, who has been hired, finds him dead, hung by a Rotary fan in his own gallery. The film sees 6 deaths, all caused by artworks ranging from paintings to cyborgs to a tattoo. This notion of justice, enacted by a ghostly art world presence, echoes the plot of Oscar Wilde's Picture of Dorian Gray, whereby the handsome yet corrupted titular character leads a life of hedonism that takes its toll on the features of a portrait of him, which becomes gradually as haggard as he truly is inside. In the case of Josephine, the artworks around her punish her vanity and dissolute nature, taking over her body through the slow and creeping asphyxiation by a flood of paint that drains from a number of graffiti canvases in a gallery she is lured to by a mysterious force. A punishment for the shallowness and abuse of an art world beset with horrors, from simple exploitation and corruption to sexual harassment. It is in light of the themes of art and horror that I present the following Skype chat with US artist and musician Actually Huizenga. Actually is a veteran of art school, turned director and musician whose own DIY camp employs a horror aesthetic in films such as The Art of Eating 2017, an allegory on patriarchy which sees its central female protagonist caught between the gnawing need to serve another and the will to avenge. The use of a B-movie horror aesthetic can again be seen in the music video I Shouldn't Be Alive. It's male-on-female violence reflecting Actually's own battle for artistic integrity and independence in a world where sexual violence is one of many tools of control. I caught up with Actually ahead of the release this spring of the album Asking For It, which she made with her group Patriarchy, to talk about art, sexual violence and identity politics.
I went to art school to be a fine artist, so that's like practically impossible. But I always was saying, I'm going to use Facebook and make videos of my friends drunk because that's like using our lives as art. And that's not fine art, you know? Like if something doesn't cost a lot of money, it's not good, right? So something that goes viral doesn't make money necessarily unless they get advertising behind it. So advertising is supposed to be bad, but a fine artist will have a businessman, blue chip people putting money into painting. So really it's the same then, right? Most normal people, even back when they're looking at like Picasso or Jackson Pollock, like a normal person who would today like a stupid cat meme would say, my 2-year-old son could do that, right? Say that you're trans and someone who's from Middle America comes up to you and is like, I really love your outfit, and they accidentally call you a he, right? But you're a she, you identify as she. You need to be comfortable enough in yourself as that she to tell them, you know, I'm a she, just don't worry about it. Like, I've seen so many people just so crumble under these definitions, especially when referring to themselves, where they don't even try to help other people who've been raised in these places where they've been taught racism or sexism. You need to talk to people. It's a lot more work. When I started making my videos in music, I was pretty naive and I didn't have a lot of hardships. But then after that, I did experience the things that like a woman trying to be in an art world and a music scene that's mostly male oriented. And I had to deal with a lot of male advances and things like that. And when I said no, I lost a lot of opportunities, So I decided I'm just going to make this on my own. And the more and more I do it, for some reason, I don't know why, I always wanted to kill things. And I realized it was just, I was trying to get my power back in my own world. Because these people came in and were trying to put their own spin on it. Even if that just means the guy wants to grope me or whatever, it's still them trying to insert themselves into my power, right? Like, I'm really not going to go into this thing about like, oh, I hate that I'm... Like, what I did was I said, no, don't do that to me, and then I didn't get anything. Like, what I could have done was made out with a guy, and then I'd get like a stepping stone. But I didn't get the stepping stone because I didn't do that. So I think a lot of my work was about that, which is such a small thing. It's not that important to humanity as a whole, right? So I was hoping if I could get through it through my art, it might help other women or boys who are struggling with people telling them that you can't do this. If you just do it, and you don't act like a victim, and then eventually these things change. Do you know what I mean? It's not about #MeToo, it's about doing it, right? I mean, you just have to work really hard. Like, if you're a woman or different ethnicity, you really have to, like, stand up and just... I know it's annoying, but you just have to work harder. I mean, I have to work a little bit extra. I have to work a little bit harder and just, be gracious and just accept that some people aren't going to think I do a lot of the work I do. But at least it's out there, because instead of like complaining, I just work harder. And then people are going to think I'm being a bitch for saying that, but I think that's one of the problems is anyone can... I mean, not everyone's going to make it, but you can do what you want. For me, finding yourself, like, if you're going outside for a walk without anything in your ears, your phone off, what do you think about? I think there's a thing you can put on your phone that limits how much time you're online. I think some people are starting to do that, because for me, I try to turn my phone off for like 2 hours a day, just so that I'm not gonna look and see how many likes I have. I try to go outside. I think it's just really important to have time for nothing in your mind. And then also an important thing is to find information through different sources that aren't on a screen also. Like, in school, I remember you'd only have so many things from the internet, and then you have to have this many references from books, and you can have some references from video. You know what I mean? I think that's a good structure for just being human. You need to have different places to find your references. It's more industrial than my past work. So I was thinking of things that are hurtful, but that happen every day and that are almost normal. So that's why I called it patriarchy. And the album's called Asking for It. And I've already decided the t-shirts that are going to be the merch. They're going to be like Hooters t-shirts, like they wear at the Hooters restaurant. And it will say patriarchy in orange, but like with the font, and on the back it will say asking for it. So you can buy that, and it's like a cutoff, and then also it's just kind of laughing at things that are just in existence, and then and I like the songs because when I perform them live, I get to really go crazy and like scream and stuff. When I'm recording with my bandmates who are like pretty insane, I just feel like it takes you out of not what we're talking about is interesting and amazing to talk about, but I don't think about any of this at all when I'm writing or performing. So just think that's interesting. I don't know what that is. Maybe art is the only primordial thing left. I don't know.
And with that, I'd like to say a quick thank you to our Zero Books YouTube viewers. This video features footage from Netflix's Velvet Buzzsaw and from the music videos I Shouldn't Be Alive, Shock and You Won't Die, as well as the film Art of Eating, all from Actually Huizenga, who I'd also like to thank for being interviewed. You can find the links to those videos below. Finally, I've been your host, Mike Watson. Until next time.